sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch broadcasts, it's so simple. There's 3 ways. You can go to shrmedia.com, or you can go to YouTube and Facebook, or Facebook, and, well, you might want to do both at the same time. So I guess YouTube or Facebook, and search for SHR Media. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like or subscribe, whichever one meets whatever they're, you know what I mean. Oh, how is everybody doing? Well, as everybody knows, my daughter got hurt last weekend. And I know this piled up, but with physical issues that I have, it has a tendency, you know, stress and all that, when it builds up, then I have these episodes with my issues of my back and all the pain I have, and it just built up that Friday I couldn't even move. I could not move. So I do apologize for not being on air. I really do apologize. That's why it doesn't sound right. I'm here tonight. I won't be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Halloween, as everybody knows. And with that comes, yes, trick-or-treaters. Everybody knows that the SHR Studio Southeast, Studio 1 of the Southeast, is located at my house. So I don't need the doorbell ringing every 5 minutes and trick-or-treat, and my dog's barking, you know, nonstop. It would not make for a good show. So I'm going to just shut the show down tomorrow so I can actually spend some time with the family, and I know everybody's going to understand. Everybody's going to want to spend time with their families. And with that, it's, I know people are going to be like, yeah, but damn, I need to start bringing my glasses in with me. Oh yes, my glasses are there. Actually, I'm pulling up my video lost. Shit, that's my back. That's weird. I turned my security cameras on, and I'm missing one of my feeds, and it's the one over my back door. I'm going to check that out a little bit. Figure out why I don't have my video not working back there. Because it's the back screen door. So I want to know why that one's not working. It's been a while since I've actually checked. I only check when there's a need. And I know with Halloween coming up, I haven't logged in a while. Holy shit. Other than this, I mean, it's, how is everybody doing? I've missed everybody. I really have. And I know that shit's been going nuts. And we're going to talk about some stuff, and it's so funny watching liberals right now. They think they struck oil, and the only thing they hit was, well, a sewage line. They didn't get anything. They are still so far in the dark, it's not funny. And what I'm talking about is the Paul Manafort. Oh my God, we got him, we got him, we got him, we got Trump! Yeah. Well, we'll get more into that. Why do I not have any single... Oh, that's why. I forgot I used that. two of the TVs, one is used as a monitor here in the studio, and damn, why did I choose that? What do I want? Which one is? All right. So two of the TVs, one is used as the monitor for the one computer that I do the broadcasting of the show, the live stream, and hey, Snarky, how are you? Sure, why not? But real quick, it's so the two TVs I use are the same make model, and when I grabbed the controller to switch sources, it changed the source on my one I use for the computer, and it was a black screen that had me going, "What the hell?" Just a blonde moment. How you feeling? You feeling good, Snarky? Oh, it's been a rough couple. I mean, like I said, with my health and everything, it's just when stress kicks up, it just starts piling on, and it plays hell with the body. It'll play hell with the body, big time. So, all right, let's see. We're gonna start with my good old state, New Jersey. I've been following the Mendez trial, and and I do. Let me back it up a little bit. I want to give an update because I did get reached out to by a lot of people, and I appreciate it. On my daughter, for those that don't know, last Sunday she microwaved her soup, and when she sat down, she had it on a tray. I don't. You leaving me already, Snarky? Boo. When she sat down, it slid, and it spilled from like her shoulder, chest area, straight down the side of her. I mean, we thought that she had third-degree burns at some point. Ends up she just had some severe second-degree burns. And we've been putting this Silverdine, this great medication for burns that we have. We immediately started putting it on. We went to the burn center on Tuesday, and we were told it's going to take 2 weeks before we know any answer, because they said there is like 2 or 3 spots that it looks like there's possibility of skin grafts. That's how bad she got burned with this. They're talking skin grafts. And we've been putting that cream on religiously, and it's actually, it looks like there may be 1, maybe 2 spots that are looking bad. The other, and it's healing quick as anything, and the stress is also coming off me and my wife, because my daughter's 14. My wife's 14. Holy shit! I'd be like admitting to going to jail right there. No, my daughter is 14, and yeah, she doesn't need to be going through skin grafts and shit. That's no. So I'm hoping everything works out, and it's looking better. It's looking a hell of a lot better than it did. It was holy shit. So to all those that reached out, I do want to say thank you. It meant a lot to me that you did that. And to my in-laws, I mean, they really, and which I knew they would. Because my daughter was out of school last week because of it, and they sent her some books, movies. In fact, the movies were based on the books. What the heck is it? Percy Jackson series my daughter's getting into right now. So they bought her like 5 books of it, and 2 of the movies. So and my aunt, she sent us a nice. Not going to get into everything that was, but my aunt did one of those nice edible arrangements, and you don't send fruit to my house and expect it to last more than 5 minutes. Me and my daughter tore that the edible arrangement, whatever you want to call it, like a fat kid on a cupcake. Now, I could say that without offending, because I am fat. Yes, I am. But if it's a choice between a cupcake and fruit, oh, I'll take the fruit. Same with my daughter. She will take fruit and vegetables. My wife got one of those vegetable platters that you can get at the supermarket. And those things are gone in no time. My dinner tonight, this is what's funny. I got a child, and even when she was young, 5, 6, 7, she would turn down sweets for vegetables, fruit. She'll turn down sodas for milk. But it's, you get one of those fruit platters. Oh, man. Me and her just go to town. We love our fruit. And our dinner tonight was, my wife did the stuffed peppers. My daughter's sitting there because I don't mind that, but after a while I get tired of all the peppers, so she's sitting there taking the peppers off my plate and just tearing up the peppers. And it's funny. I'd never seen a kid like that. So, with that, we're going to get on with the show. I've wasted enough time on, just jackassery, I guess, to pull a Sackheads show comment. Now, with that, I was going to go into, before I sidetracked myself, the Mendez trial. Well, Mendez and his attorneys basically they're setting themselves up for an appeal. That's what they're doing. The lawyers representing Democrat Senator Bob Mendez filed Sunday to have their client's corruption trial declared a mistrial. The legal team argues that Judge William Walz has been unfairly prejudicial in his conduct because, all the stuff they've asked for, he denied. The senator wants special treatment with the trial. He wants to stop and start and start and stop at his leisure. Everyday people like me and you could never get that, but he wants it since he's a senator. He should be given special treatment. And he got turned down on that. Like in every trial, some evidence wasn't allowed, some testimony wasn't allowed. So he's throwing a hissy fit, and what he's doing, basically they know the trial's not going their way, and they're going to try to set up for an appeal. So they filed with this judge for mistrial. Now, the New Jersey senator is on trial with his friend Dr. Solomon Melgen after the FBI investigation led to charges of corruption and bribery. The prosecution alleges that Mendez accepted gifts and cash in exchange for lending Melgen's political assistant and his medical practice. Melgen had previously run afoul of a law, receiving a conviction for defrauding the Medicare program. And we're talking like $10 million he defrauded the Medicare out of. He defrauded a shitload of money. He's already been found guilty. So, but in what some see as a long-term strategy to justify an appeal, the lawyers are arguing that Judge Walz has, abrogated the defendant's right to a fair trial because he has demonstrated bias. Oh my God, we get that all the time. Every criminal thinks the judge is biased. And quote, at the bottom, however, the defendant's concerns are typified by the court's parting words at Thursday hearing. Life is not fair, and so too is judicial discretion, unquote. Despite the lighthearted nature of the court's comment, the fact remains that judicial discretion must be exercised fairly. Otherwise, by definition, it is an abuse of discretion. Defendants submit that a key moment through this trial, the court's ruling have been unfairly prejudicial, inconsistent, and contrary to law. Well, you know what? If Mendez did not break the law, did not try to help his friend get away with breaking the law, we wouldn't be in this predicament now, would we? But the Democrats just think that they are above the law anymore. But furthermore, the legal team maintains that Wall has erroneously excluded relevant and admissible testimony, documents, and witness called by the defense that would provide critical support to the defense. Now, what I don't understand is if they think that is what's going on in this trial, that within itself would be grounds for an appeal. They wouldn't have to go through all this shit. if Mendez was found guilty and this judge excluded relevant and admissible testimony, documents, and witnesses, then that would be an appeal right there. So this is just a grandstanding. Democrats making a joke of our judicial system. They've been using it to their favor for years, and now it looks like one of their own is in trouble. You know, they're going to cry about it. Well, you know what? Screw you. He helped this doctor scam $10 million. $10 million. He took flights. He set up meetings. He took vacations. You know, he's reaping what he sows. So the lawyers are suggesting that Walls withheld documents from the jury that might have helped Mendez and Melgen. The mistrial motion is expected to be denied by Walls. If convicted, Mendez and Melgen can request an appeal, but a guilty verdict will nevertheless put the senator in a position of either having to resign his office or being expelled by the Senate. And what they're hoping for is they want to see this happen very quickly, because it'll be in New Jersey, and Christie, if he's still in office, will be able to appoint the next senator. So, you know, he'll be appointing a Republican senator in the meantime, which would give more numbers in the Senate for the Republicans. Now, am I going to bash this attorney? No. The attorney's doing what he is being paid to do. He's paid to come up with all these little loopholes and try to get his client off. And that's what he's doing. So, am I going to bash the attorney? No. So, before we go to break, let me see how long this actually is. Our good friend Melanie has sent us another one of her Melanie Talks minutes, and let's see how long it is. Oh, yeah, we'll play that now. This is Melanie Talks minutes.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week, we're going to discuss interest rates. Why are they important? Well, they're important on two sides of your financial coin. On the one side, you have your debt. Credit card debt, loans, and things like that. You always want to get the lowest interest rate possible. Why? That means that that money is costing you a lot less to borrow with a lower interest rate. And speaking of that, when you're looking at which loan or which credit card to pay off first, you're always going to look at the interest rate. Which one has the highest interest rate? That's the one you want to start paying off first. On the savings side of the financial coin, what kind of savings account do you want to open? Which one should you choose? You will always choose the one with the best interest rate, and on the savings side, the best interest rate will be the highest interest rate. This means it will yield you the highest amount of return. And that's it for your Money Talk Minute of the week. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette.
I love her little clips, and if you want to catch her show, it's 5 o'clock. Every day, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on SHR Media. And we will be right back after these brief messages.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. So as I was saying, one of my damn cameras on the security system isn't working. And I ran outside, looked, the infrared's on. For some reason, it's not transmitting it. If I find out it's that fucking rat, that a mouse, or whatever it is I have on my ceiling, I'm going to be pissed. I will hunt that little rat down. Let me see. Hang on, I gotta reply to my mother-in-law. Because I'll forget to do it later. No. That's not it. No, I don't want it moved. Crap, I don't want it moved. Oh, where did I move it to? I don't know where I moved it. Oh, boy. I don't even know where the hell I moved it. Oh, that's not going to be good. There's that. Oh, it's... doing it later. I'm total brain fart right now. I'm like in a total hiccup. So, yeah, I hate when stuff goes wrong because I got like a one-track mind when it comes to it. And now this damn camera. And then tonight's mischief night, and I got some real assholes in the neighborhood lately, so I'm also setting up the cameras to do motion detector, so if these kids come by, try to do something in my house, the cameras, I'm having it set up so it'll take a snapshot of them too. Plus it'll set alarms off for me that'll notify me that there's issues. And I may not see it tonight, but then I can, when the email comes in, it'll be time-stamped, and I'll know when to go back through the camera system to take a look at which timestamp to look at, which would be nice. So, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I can set up where the motion sensors, the area that it takes away from. This is neat. This is real neat. I didn't even play with this before. Woohoo! How do I get out? No problem, Jenna. You're never late. So, let's get on with the show. I love this. Referees walked away from a New Jersey high school game over anthem protest. A father and son who were set to officiate during a high school football game in New Jersey walked off the field when the students took a knee during the playing of the national anthem. The referees, Ernie and Anthony stood on the field with their hands over their heart as the anthem played. But as soon as the song ended, because they witnessed members of the Monroe Township High School team taking a knee instead of standing, my Central Jersey reported. Both of them, the father and son, said they felt that the act of kneeling during the anthem was a sign of disrespect to the country, the flag, and our soldiers. Anybody that disrupts the flag, in my eyes, it's not right, said the father. What they are doing with this kneeling and everything, they have the right to do that, but the national anthem has nothing to do with them kneeling. The flag has got nothing to do with them, with why they are protesting. And if they want to protest, let them protest, but don't disrespect our country, the flag, and the armed forces. They've got a right to protest, and so do we, the son stated, a graduate of Monroe High School. He said that taking a knee during the anthem is not how I was brought up, and that's not how I was raised. I'm not criticizing their right. That's just my viewpoint. The father and son also warned the school ahead of time that they would not officiate if any player took a knee during the anthem. Now, the school officials said they plan to retaliate against the officials and will file a complaint with the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association. Apparently, the school is supportive when players want to protest, but not when officials do. And that's all the father and son did. They protested. They protested. Exactly as they did. But now the coaches may be in trouble for protesting, but not the players. They are trying to get them to not give us any more games, basically saying we put the players' safety in danger, but we didn't. They obviously had enough officials to do the game, and I'm not really worried about being sanctioned. If I don't ref again, it won't be the end of the world. The Greater Middlesex Conference Football Committee Chairman, Ben Lasasa, said the matter would be discussed at an upcoming meeting. Neither Lasasa nor NJISIAA, which is the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association, coordinator football officials, Carmine Picardo, would speculate about what action, if any, would be taken against the father and son referee. But the father said he has already received a letter relieving him of his spot officiating at the next game. I love how some people get the right of protesting and putting their opinion out there and stating what they want, but when someone comes back, immediately they are reprimanded for doing such. So it's good for one, but not for all, and that is the left and the Democrat Party. They love to lecture us, but you're not able to respond or say anything back. I think that's why millions upon millions, tens of millions of Americans are getting tired of the Democrat Party. They're tired of this bullshit day in and day out. And there was an article I didn't post in here. What was it? A reporter, they said, basically got out of his little bubble of safety, went to middle America and found out that a majority of America does not want these protests to go on. And a lot of people have said it's not the fact of the protesting or what they're protesting. They don't want it during football. When you watch football, you do it to escape reality. You do it to relax, not to have this shit jammed down your throat. There's a saying I was told a long time ago. Just because you can do something, just because you have the right to do something, doesn't mean you should do it. Yes, they have the right to protest. Yes, they can protest. Should they? No. As you see the ratings in the empty stadiums, well, I think you know why that's happening. Now, this next one really had me raised an eyebrow or two on me, and hopefully this you'll understand, because this is actually kind of scary. Another one bites dust. So, a secret FBI investigation of the violently resistant movement on college campus against President Trump has led to an alarming discovery. Hey, Dave, how are you doing tonight, sir? Dave, the unpleasant blind guy, not the unpleasant guy, the unpleasant blind guy is in chat tonight. How are you doing, sir? And what we are talking about, this campus group, is Antifa. The collusion between American anarchists and foreign terrorists in the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. According to a confidential informational report by FBI field offices, there is clearly overwhelming evidence that there are growing ties between U.S. radicals and the Islamic State, as well as several ISIS offshoot and splinter groups, stated the FBI field report, which was delivered to Acting Director Andrew McCabe on July 11, 2017, and which is being published for the first time in a new book, All Out War, The Plot to Destroy Trump. The FBI report on efforts by Islamic terrorists to recruit followers among violent U.S. groups like Antifa collaborates presidential controversial claims following last summer's deadly protests in Charlottesville, Virginia, that left-wing anarchist groups are just as dangerous as right-wing supremacists. This is the greatest challenge to law enforcement since the Weather Underground and the Black Panther, the FBI report declared. Last summer, the FBI dispatched a task force to Europe to report on massive demonstrations planned by radical groups such as a German contingent. Yeah, I ain't trying that name. That's a really here. Yeah, I ain't trying that one. That's some weird German. Anti-fascist action. Yeah, Antifa's worldwide, and I agree with you. 18 billion Soros has given them. Nah, I wouldn't doubt it. But Antifa has been around since, what, the 30s? 1930s, I think? It was started in Germany, and it has expanded. And what's funny is they don't hide that they're a communist group. And there's so many of the left, you got a lot on the left that all they see is they're opposing Trump. They're good. And when you go, yeah, they're communists. No, they're not. You start showing them the red and black flags that they carry with the sickle and, the hammer. And oh, that's Photoshop. No, it isn't. This is what they're about. And as I said, now they're starting to have connections with ISIS and Al-Qaeda and these terrorist groups. That is a little bit more scary than anything, because these idiots, these kids they've been programmed with such hatred right now, and already are programmed to commit violence in the name of their cause. All it takes is a little persuasion that, example just off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, we agree the United States is bad. We need to tear Trump down. He's not good. What they've been telling you about us is, a government conspiracy. We're not that bad. We're not doing it. That's the U.S. government perpetuating lies so that they can create war. I mean, that's all it takes an ISIS member to say to these kids, and they would jump right on board with them. And I know not all of these Antifa are kids, but a lot of them are college-age morons that don't know shit from Shiola, and they're running around, just acting like they know everything in the world. And it wouldn't be hard. I don't think it would be that hard for them to be radicalized. And Jenna just brought up that there's a flyer going around that Antifa's going to be running around dressed like Trump supporters, cops. The problem is, I think that's a disinformation flyer. I don't trust it. And Dave the Unpleasant Guy, he had some comments about that. I got to pull him up so I don't misquote him. I mean, I'm not going to give an exact quote of what he said. But during a discussion, we got into this. And he wanted us. He was pointing out that we needed to pay attention to the wording that was used in a lot of these flyers. They never say patriots without ironic half quotes usually. And since when did the left go back from climate change to global warming? The wordings that they were using in the flyers, some of the flyers that are coming out, just aren't matching up with what Antifa normally says about us. And just something about it doesn't seem right. I think it's more just some people either out to cause problems for fun. Well, not fun, but you know what I mean. Because they think it's going to be fun. I don't think it's an Antifa doing that. Is there going to be some protests November 4th? Yes. Do I think there's going to be a major issue? Not really, because if you're going to do that shit, you don't politicize that. If you're going to cause mayhem like they were advertising, you don't advertise that so that the police and everybody can prepare for it. You drop that shit on people without warning. That's how you cause mass hysteria, because it happens without warning. It just gets, bam, it's there. When you give warning, people can prepare for it. We'll talk more about this on the other half of the break. And yes, Dave makes a good point, and I've said it. Still, be careful. Watch yourself. You should watch yourself no matter whether it's November 4th or not. Every day you should watch yourself. There's a lot of idiots around nowadays, and they're not out to do anything good. So we'll be right back after this brief message. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello. I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholics do it, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
all good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Yeah, Antifa, I don't trust them, and linking up with a terrorist group would not surprise me. Would not surprise me one bit. And like I said, it would not be that hard. And Jenna, to your thing with Milo, I don't pay attention. I don't like the guy. I don't dislike the guy. Just not within my interest range that I pay attention to him. I know a little bit about what's going on with him, but I haven't paid that much attention. If he shut down that talk, it may not because, I mean, there's a lot of things. You're talking cost of security when you get these groups like his talks, and the way things are going lately. They want so much money for these groups, for these talks that he gives. They want so much money for security. Sometimes he has to shut it down, and when you start getting threats, they start mandating extra security, which costs more money. So he may have shut it down for that. I don't know. So I really can't give you a really solid opinion on that. What's going on with Antifa? You don't go and broadcast it. You're going to raise holy hell on this state. I was a hellion during my younger years. I would not go out broadcasting that I'm going to go out and do X, Y, and Z on this state to cause trouble. I shut my mouth and I went and did it. Because now there's a record, and now there's a threat that they were going to do this. And if things really, let's say, hey, BZ, how the hell are you doing, my brother? again, late birthday to you. But let's say someone accidentally gets killed during one of their events. Let's say on November 4th. Now, because there's premeditated that they're making threats that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, now you got premeditation into it, and it would add charges. So you don't go out and broadcast that you're going to do any bit of trouble. Not to say Antifa's not going to go out there and protest. That's what they do. You're shitting me. No internet still? Did you guys use that much internet that the communist or the socialistic California had to give that much away? Holy shit. Oh, I know that not being happy with Comcast, BZ. I know that because I have them here. When I had them up in New Jersey, where their main headquarters is, they're one of the best internet providers. And they weren't as big as they are now. I think they got too big for the britches. And the issue I have with them is they bought out Adelphia, which was doing my neighborhood. And this happened just as I bought my house in 2007. So what happens is Comcast comes in and buys Adelphia. So they get the contract to my neighborhood. Now, the neighborhood was built, 2002, 2004. Still all the same equipment from back then. You would think Comcast would come in. They want to expand into this area. They've talked about it. I've heard them talk about it. They don't upgrade my neighborhood. We're still running on 2002, 2004 technology. To the point, I don't even have on-demand with Comcast. If I want on-demand, I have to hook my laptop up to my TV, log into Comcast, and then watch on-demand. That's how bad their system, antiquated their system is here. I've made, several complaints to the CEO, and they don't even know why. I've had phone calls from a guy right below the CEO. I can't remember his name or rank, and he didn't know, and he was baffled by it. And he called me back. He goes, "Yeah, I didn't even realize we had this." He's like, "We didn't know that the system was that bad down there. Nobody told us." That was like, great. So our internet sometimes, it's been pretty good of late, but yeah, I get some shitty internet every now and then out of Comcast. And the only thing is I have Frontier, and I don't like them, and that's it. Unless I want to go to satellite, and I'm not going satellite. Hell no. I'm hoping Spectrum, who used to be Bright House, who in this area, they're real big, and they're pretty good. If they would take over my neighborhood, I'd go them in a heartbeat. All right, that was my total tech section of the show, so we're going to get off that. Any idea when they're going to get out to take a look at your internet, BZ? Jumping around. Yeah, if Sackhead Clinton would stop making penguin porn. See, Unpleasant Blind Guy, I think it's because they're in socialist California. That they used up too much internet, so they have to, the states coming in and dispersing their internet usage to other people of lesser advantages. BZ, I do my show from home too. I have a spare, I guess you could call it bedroom, that I converted when I bought the house. I immediately converted it into a computer room. I run all my computers. I got, 2 computers, TV, 3 computer screens. I mean, my wife really is constantly looking at me like, you asshole, what are you doing? I'm going to have to give an updated photo of the Sackheads Southeast Studio 1. But yeah, you can be Studio 2. No, you got it wrong, Dave. It's the illegal alien disabled lesbian cats. Remember that? And I think we discussed that last week. It's the lesbian cats. The illegal alien disabled lesbian cats that think they're humans. Oh, Lord. Lord. How did I get totally off on this? Now, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to jump into Paul Manafort and the... oh, Lord. Oh. Holy Toledo. I just saw the Flyers score and shit. They were down like 3-0 at that point, and they ended up coming back, extending it to overtime and losing in overtime. But hey, they get a point out of it. So, where am I now? We're gonna get into the whole. Oh my God, we got Trump. We got Trump. We ain't got shit. So, Jerry Brown is warning California Republicans not to vote for tax reform. And I love this. Governor Jerry Brown is warning 14 Republicans in the state's congressional delegation Friday that it would be morally wrong for them to support President Trump's tax reform plan. God forbid. You know, the middle class gets a friggin' tax break. Democrats can't have that. And what's funny is if you take a look back into Reagan's era, and I think prior to Reagan, the income federally was like $500 billion. Now, after Ronald Reagan came in and did his tax reform and cut taxes, the income shot up to like $900 billion. So, right there it shows when you cut taxes, it can increase your revenue. And yes, Jerry Brown, who the fuck is he to be threatening anybody? And that's not the governor's job, to threaten the Republicans on what to do. It's absolutely amazing, these idiots. And Jerry Brown just is he like taking a shot that he's going to run for president, I think, again? Because I believe he already did it once. Damn, BZ jumped out. Damn it. Yeah, I know. And it's Democrats who are for abortion talking about morals. I love that. What I do love on that subject real quick is you're seeing several groups, black groups, that are finally getting it through their heads that Planned Parenthood is not. I mean, where are the Planned Parenthoods in black neighborhoods? They are there to try to control population. I don't think they should be around like they are. I've talked about it before. I've said my piece on abortion. There's a time and a place for it, yes. But I think our Democrat are trying to use it too much as a birth control. And so people could be irresponsible and not worry about it. And that's not what it's there for. Well, I've totally gone way off track on everything today. And we're going to hit a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to get on to the Paul Manafort indictments. And, well, what I was talking about, Dave, is a lot of blacks are finally coming around that, holy shit, that the Democrats aren't out for the best of us. They're pushing Planned Parenthood, which has a majority in black neighborhoods, which is fucking up with population. And yeah, it would not surprise me that the population of black people is falling in the United States. It wouldn't surprise me, because it's pushing more and more of these abortions. People can be irresponsible, go out and do whatever they want and not have any consequences. Life is full of consequences. That's what it is. So, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow from a stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. But listen, I actually got audio. I got exclusive audio of Mueller. And this is what we have. I'm going to play it for you now. I got exclusive audio that nobody else will have. Ooh. That's not going to help it. Hold on. I'm telling you, nobody else has this audio. This is him talking to everybody in the office about the Trump collusion investigation.
Found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir. How about you? Not a thing, sir. What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
See, I've been telling you there's nothing to it. And right there's all of his investigators. They admit they ain't found shit. And that's exactly what they produced today. And if you've been hiding underneath their rock and you don't know, well, let me break it out to you. Paul Manafort has been indicted on 12 counts that has nothing to do with the election. Has nothing to do with Trump. Zip, zero, nada, zilch. What he has been indicted on happened between something like 2004 and 2014. Had zero to do with Trump. And then what makes me really wonder, question, number one, supposedly this, how is Manafort, or excuse me, how is Mueller prosecuting this? He has nothing, he's not FBI anymore. He's a special prosecutor brought in for corruption, or excuse me, collusion connected with Trump. How does this equal that? That has nothing to do with it. He's not there to go after tax evasion. If that's what Manafort did, he needs to be held accountable. But that is not what Mueller was brought in for, was to find tax evasion from a company. Zero, zilch, nothing. Why is Mueller have anything to do with this? And yes, Dave, I agree. This was all put out there to take away the attention that the Democrats were getting on the Uranium One deal. And that's not done with. I don't think that's going to be. This is going to be a big enough distraction. I know the liberals were out there pounding the pavement today. Oh, we got Trump. We got Trump. You ain't got shit. Paul Manafort was indicted on 12 counts. And of course, it leaked out Friday. There's supposed to be all these arrests. There was 2 people arrested. Gates and Manafort. That's it. And as they say, you can indict a ham sandwich during a, oh, what the hell is that? My mind just went blank. Grand jury. That's why they don't want shit to happen with Hillary, because they know it'll then go to trial. But this was a 31-page indictment in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, basically for money laundering. The two men, 68 and 45 respectively, are alleged to have used a bevy of entities to launder millions of dollars over a decade and failed to properly disclose the nature of their work for, the Ukrainian president, Viktor Yanukovych, something like that. Please tell me one thing. Again, what does Mueller have to do with this? I don't care. As I said, if Manafort is guilty, he should be charged. But this happened how many years ago? It was investigated by the FBI, and nothing was ever done. Now, what? 3-4 years later, all of a sudden we get an indictment, and as Dave said, it's just a distraction? Why wasn't he charged when the investigation went through the first time? Why all of a sudden now? If not just for a distraction. But this doesn't prove that there was any collusion. This has nothing to do with Trump. This happened before Trump even announced. Let's see, where is it? The 12 counts. The first one is conspiracy against the United States. This charge has to do with illegally agreement to carry out criminal acts that defraud the federal government. In this case, those acts were the banking and foreign agent registry charges in counts 3 through 6 and 10 through 12. As with all federal felony conspiracy charges, this count carries a maximum of 5 years in prison. Conspiracy to launder money. Another illegal agreement. This charge stems from the alleged decision to devise a scheme to conceal the source and existence of money from the president of Ukraine and other clients. Given the amount in question, this charge could carry up to 20 years in prison. Charges 3 through 9, failure to file a report of foreign bank and financial amounts. These counts are related to two men alleged foreign accounts. They are accused of not filing the necessary reports on these holdings. Those counts carry 10 years maximum penalties. Charge number 10, unregistered agent of a foreign principal. This is allegation Manafort and Gates acted as a lobbyist for Yanukovych without registering as foreign agents with the government. It carries a maximum 5-year penalty. False and misleading FARA statements, which is Foreign Agent Registration Act. That's charge number 11. This is a more specific allegation of Manafort and Gates misconduct under the FARA. The men are lying as to the exact nature of their work in President Yanukovych behalf. And when they did FARA paperwork in 2016, as with count 10, this carries a maximum 5-year penalty. And a false statement, this count refers to the same statement as the count above. It is a more general version of the charge for making false statements to the government as opposed to the specific FARA violation. It also carries 5 years. And yes, you know what, I would care a lot more too if this was held accountable to both parties. Because, you know what, Hillary has been doing this exact same thing for years. The Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton, it's very one-sided, and yes, I am sick and fucking tired of it myself. And as Dave mentioned earlier in the chat, that this, they're hoping, is a chain reaction indictment. I think it was Dershowitz. They're hoping that they could put enough pressure on Manafort, just like when they made the threats originally. They're hoping they could put enough pressure on Manafort that he will flip and start singing about all the collusion that's going on in Trump's happy home, and they'll let him off these charges if he just sings what they want him to sing. If he gives up about Trump, they'll let him go. That's why supposedly Mueller is doing all this. I think it's more they're just going after Republicans because, well, they're trying to distract from the real problems going on, the real collusion of Russia. And so many people, including the Republican establishment, is allowing this to go on. They're helping the Democrats cover this crap up. But this is... I heard about it all weekend. Oh, my God. Trump's collusion. It's going to go down. It's going down. Trump's going down. I started hearing this has nothing to do with Trump. And all of a sudden it comes out. So, I stopped by my parents' house. My mom, of course, I knew she was going to be worried. Knew she was. They're so afraid that they're going to go after Trump and come up with some kind of bullshit. And I was like, Mom, nope. She's like, yes, they got him. I was like, they ain't got shit, Mom. You know what they have? They have a lot of allegations and no proof. No proof at all. They have nothing. Zilch. Now I'm being serious. What do they have? They have Paul Manafort supposedly caught laundering money. That's a long, long drive to get into. Collusion. And I still ask, what law is there about collusion? Really? Where is those laws? 'Cause I've yet to see one. This is a witch hunt. This is nothing but trying to make Trump look bad because the Democrats know that Trump's going to keep his promises because he's not a politician that goes out there and just yam, 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 yam. He goes out there, he made promises, and he's trying to keep them. And if he keeps 10% of what he promises, Democrats know they're in deep shit. As you can see, a lot of Republicans, the establishment Republicans, knew they were already in deep shit with what's going on. They knew they couldn't get reelected because they see, at least the Republicans are smart enough, these idiot Republicans like Jeff Flake and them, saw that, people are woke up and we need to run. I'll give them that credit. You still got Democrats going, no. You see, that's not what's going on. This was a Russian collusion. They're believing their own bullshit and ignoring what the people are screaming in their face. I think I just confused mine. Dave, did that make sense? Because I'm thinking about what I just said in my head, and I'm going, maybe that didn't make sense. Hopefully it did. At least some of these scumbag Republicans knew it was time to get out of Dodge. Some of these Democrats are still sitting there. They're just believing their own lies. And it's going to hurt them. It's going to bite them in their ass. But this whole investigation, I think this investigation, if anything, this whole Trump collusion thing, is just making Trump and his base stronger. Because it's reinforcing the swamp. It's reinforcing that we need to get rid of these so-called politicians. And that they're fighting back. And he's putting a spotlight on it with this. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media. We will be right back. breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
The SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, I don't understand what they're thinking. I really don't. Do they think the American people are that goddamn stupid? Because here's the thing. Trump's name doesn't appear once, not even once, in the Manafort indictment. Why? Because Trump had nothing to do with that. So where do they get the collusion and their... I mean, Jesus Christ, if you listen to the liberal media today, you would think that this all happened during Trump's campaign. I mean, they went absolutely apeshit. Ooh, bad thing about ginger ale. Woohoo! I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me sometimes. It really doesn't. Let's see, where are we at? And here's what they're not thinking about. The FBI's reliance on the discredited Fusion GPS Russian dossier could threaten Manafort's prosecution. A good lawyer is going to look at this. A special counsel, Robert Mueller's case, is in danger of being thrown out of court when the FBI is forced to emit FISA court authority to conduct electronic surveillance on former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort was based on fraudulent Fusion GPS Russian dossier that the FBI, the Clinton campaign, and the Democrat National Committee paid to be produced. And let's add another name that just came out. President Obama threw in $1 million into this dossier. His name is popping out now. So he helped create this fake dossier that then gave him the ability to start an investigation into Hillary's opponent in the presidential election. That's some real shady shit right there. I'll tell you that right now. That's real shady. That's real questionable. I shit you not. Now it's coming out that Obama helped finance that. And the best is, from the DNC to Hillary, oh, we had no idea. $12 million from Hillary and the DNC spent. $12 million. Most of it coming from the Hillary campaign. And Hillary's going, I didn't know. I don't know a campaign out there that would spend that much money and not have the upper echelon know about it. They're denying it because they know how bad it's making them look. Because they thought they were going to win the election and never have to worry about this ever again. But they lost, and now it's coming out. And I love how they're just, we didn't know. We didn't know we financed it. Thank God, then, that Hillary did not become president. She could not keep up with her finances of her campaign. Why do people think that she could keep up with the finances of the United States of America? Let me check something out. Dave just posted something for me. I thought you were being... So it's a picture. It says Mueller investigation equals squirrel. Now, for me, a squirrel is a good thing because it's actually volunteer firefighters that run around looking at fire scenes and helping out. We're known as squirrels. Damn it, you got me. Oh. I just... That is some shit that just pisses me off. Not your squirrel thing. that the president at the time helped finance a fake dossier, which then allowed him to investigate Trump during the campaign. It allowed him to eavesdrop on his party's opponent. I mean, that would be like a prosecutor paying for some information, creating information, a fake report to put a murderer or to accused murderer in prison. You can't do that. So why is it okay that our president at the time helps finance a report that ultimately would have helped his party stay in power? That right there, within itself, is something we need to look into. That a sitting president helped finance a fake report to try to make a candidate look bad. And then, if you remember, a couple months ago, it came out that Trump Jr. had a meeting with this lawyer from Russia that they said they had some dirt on Hillary, and the liberals went nuts over it. They went absolutely nuts. They accused him, and they went so far as they were accusing him of treason. But then we have the Democrats going out, not just going out and having a discussion about possible dirt on Trump, creating a fake report that they know is fake on Trump. And they're going, well, wouldn't you do that? You would go and have investigation into some dirt on your opponent. There's one thing to investigate about if there's dirt on your opponent, and there's another creating a whole report that is 100% a lie. And they knew it was a lie. There's a big difference there. Did anything come about Trump Jr. lawyer meeting? No, nothing came about it. And they're trying to excuse their bad behavior. Who is it? Keith Ellison and Perez. They're trying to excuse the DNC's behavior and justify, saying it's a good thing that they went and did all this. I'm sorry, that is not excusable. You created a fake dossier. Now, if they went there to get they were told there was some dirt, and they saw this information and said, no, this is all bullshit. We're not dealing with this, and they walked away. Okay. Hey, I agree. You're going to look into dirt on your opponent. You're going to. But you should be smart. If you know something's fake, you shouldn't be putting it out there. And they knew this was bullshit. They knew it. I am. I can't believe that. Well, I think it's great that Trump ran for president. Even better that he won, because he has shined a light on the cockroaches so bad. It is showing America just how bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not naive. I know our government had a lot of problems. But the more and more shown, it's just amazing me how bad our country actually had gotten. We really need to straighten this country out. It's imperative. Our country is at a tipping point right now. Not because of Democrat, Republican. It's about this scum that's in office right now. It's it's worse than just these career politicians. I mean, there is a disease that is festering in the great halls of our Capitol building that we need to fix. And it's going to take more than 1-2 elections. This is a never-ending fight. Even after we get this place straightened out, let's say we're able to straighten it out in another 2 elections. That battle is never over. We have to fight it every election. We have to keep a close eye on the politicians. Because even if we put in people that we know are not corrupt, power will corrupt them. We really have to. I just saw that now Facebook is saying Russian-backed election content reached 126 million Americans. But I just recently saw a report that said that information didn't get out until after the election. I don't know. It just seems Facebook is hell-bent on trying to create an issue. I don't know. But here's the thing. Because there's a Rick Gates was also indicted. And both men turned themselves in. So it's... They knew it was coming. They knew it was announced. They were given a chance, and they turned themselves in. Their attorney already got them out, and their attorney already laughed at the charges. But the special counsel investigating Russian interference and potential collusion on Monday charged lobbyist and former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort and his longtime business partner Rick Gates with the 12 counts associated with money laundering. Although Manafort is a well-known Republican political figure, less is known about his associate. Now, Rick Gates is 45, is Paul Manafort's protege and longtime junior partner. And how is Rick Gates connected with the Trump campaign? When Manafort became Trump's campaign manager in late May 2016, Gates became number 2 and was considered a core member in August, according to the New York Daily Times. Let's also remember when that whole shit of the Ukraine and Manafort came out and came to light? What happened to Manafort immediately? He was released from the campaign. And that's where Steve Bannon and Kelly Conway came in. So as soon as it was announced that there were some issues, Trump sent him to the curb. Maybe not to that extent, but he was out of the campaign at that point. And that's the other thing that makes me really laugh about this whole thing. As soon as it was made that there was issue with Manafort, who has connections with Podesta Group, Tony Podesta, and supposedly Tony Podesta might be getting indicted soon also, but that will be done quietly. Tony Podesta is John Podesta's brother, who also has or had ownership and had ties with the same incident that Manafort's being arrested for. John Podesta was involved in, who was the campaign manager for Hillary Clinton. A lot of ties going around here. Shit, just noticed the time. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to hit our last segment. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold for 30 seconds. Okay? This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I totally screwed up that break, and right now we got BZ on the phone, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows it because I didn't mute the mic, so when I sat down and answered the phone, everybody heard my half of the conversation, BZ.
Well, what the hell? You know, there's nothing like a little inside baseball to make everybody happy, occasionally.
Oh, I hate when I do that, because I've done it where I've kind of like walked into the other room, and I'm wondering if I've left the mic on, I'll be joking around with my wife, and I'm wondering, did everybody just hear that conversation or not?
Well, you know me and technology. We're like this. If you had a camera, it's my fingers close together like this. You know, me and technology get along so well. I have to say this, though. I get along with technology actually better than Clint gets along with technology. And for fuck's sake, Clint is half my damn age. That's a hell of a comment.
Exactly. Oh, man, Clint and technology, that's like vinegar and water.
Yep.
Oh, so what is your take on this whole Manafort, Mueller bullshit?
The first thing I indicated is that I don't believe in coinkydink. Coinkydink doesn't exist in this world. So what I believe happened is, you already know, Hillary and the DNC and the Democrats had just about the worst week that they've experienced in quite some time last week, because that's when Uranium One came out, the dossier came out, and it got to the point where even the American media maggots kind of had to sort of pick some of it up. You know, they're incredibly biased, but even they had to give a few lines, a few column inches to this thing, and that's why I say it was one of the worst weeks that they've experienced in quite some time. So here's the funny thing. After that, on Friday, a leak occurred to CNN on Friday. And everyone knows that, you know, folks don't really pay much attention to what's going on in the news Saturday and Sunday. So it's like a good drama. It's like, we'll put a teaser on Friday. We've got some good stuff. CNN has revealed some good stuff. And Mueller's going to have, by the way, his name isn't Mueller. It's not M-U-L-L-E-R. His name is pronounced Mueller, M-U-E-L-L-E-R, for all you fucktards in the leftist media. Just thought I'd insert that. But Mueller thought that it would be great to insert this, or have this purposely inserted by CNN, a good friend of his, on Friday, so that the entire weekend could be fettered with, well, what's going to happen on Monday? It's going to be just another manic Monday. And then it turns out that it's pretty much kind of a nothing burger on Monday, but at least it does give the talking heads a lot to speak about these days.
Oh, I was just saying that what they did today is amazing. I mean, they were tripping over themselves with Gideon. Oh my God, this is the end of Trump. This is nothing.
Well, it's not the end of crap.
Exactly.
All right, they did have an indictment. I looked at the indictment. Not once is it mentioned in the indictment anything about Trump and Russia and collusion. But here's one very interesting point that I noticed on, where is it? Page 23 of the indictment. It says, in and about 2006 and 2017, both dates being approximate and inclusive, the District of Columbia and elsewhere. Now that's interesting. Elsewhere leaves a wide open range. Defendants Paul Manafort and Richard Gates together, here's the clue, together with others, knowingly and intentionally conspired to defraud the United States by impeding, impairing, blah, blah, blah. So what that tells me is they have some other people that they're looking at. So knowing how the feds work, they do it in sort of the griddle fashion. Apply some heat, see who flips. When you have somebody ready, go ahead and flip them. But here's just a bit of federal insight from me to you. Who held their mud and who flipped? Well, you got this Greek guy, Papadopoulos, some young kid, and he flipped immediately. He pled guilty.
Yep.
And they decided, well, tell you what, let's do a deal with this guy, and let's see what he can do. So, got to ask you a serious question, Jersey Joe.
All right.
Do you think, and I know the answer to this, which is why the rest of D.C. tonight is shitting Twinkies because of it, on whom did Papadopoulos wear a wire or speak to over the telephone? That's why the rest of D.C. is shitting Twinkies. And guess what? It's not going to be just on the Republican side. It's going to be on both sides. Manafort was... here's the other deal. You remember, Manafort and the other dude, Gates, both pled not guilty. They're going to hold their mud. Now, I got to ask you, Jersey Joe, think like a tactician. Think like a federal prosecutor. Why did they hold their mud?
I'm drawing a blank on this. You got more experience in this than I do, BZ. So
Okay, all right. They held their mud because they both have a really good attorney. So here's the thing. What do? You get cooperating people involved in this. Papadopoulos is cooperating, so he was sort of held to one side. We're going to use him. He's a nice tool. He's a tool. I'm sure. You can guarantee it. He wore a wire on somebody, and he made any number of pretext calls to any number of individuals at the behest of Mueller and the rest of his team. So when it was discovered by Mueller that the other two guys, Gates and Manafort, weren't going to cooperate, then it was decided, screw them. Then we're going to go after them. But do you think really, honestly, and I have to ask you this question, do you think really that Mueller gives one shite about Manafort's laundering of money? I think, what was it, $75 million or so?
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. But he
doesn't.
My question is, how is he?
He wants to see if these guys are going to hold their mud,
yeah,
or he's going to try to hold X number of years over their heads.
He's trying to get them to flip, but I don't think they are, because he already tried that.
Right. So this young kid flips. Like I said, guaranteed. He wore a wire. He called
You're not the
all
only
these
one.
other people that they hoped would lead them someplace else. But there's a problem, Jersey Joe. There's a problem. There's a big problem with this. And that's the guy that flipped doesn't know crap. And the guy that flipped wasn't even paid. He attended one meeting at which Trump was present. And that's the photograph with which the American media maggots are displaying all across the frigid plain and all across TV, etc., etc.
I was listening to...
Papadopoulos didn't mean crap. And so, if he's a low-level, unpaid skike, do you think, sir, that any of these people, if they had something to say, were going to spill their guts to this guy?
Hell no.
No.
Well, here's the thing. I was listening to Hannity on the way back from picking my daughter up, and Hannity, who was very much involved in Trump's campaign, said he never even heard of that guy except for one time. The guy came banging on the door, and what he wanted it to do basically was hire a company to do a fake dossier on Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
And they basically shut the door on him, and he kept banging. But he said he had nothing to do with Trump.
You are absolutely correct. Completely 100% correct. And there's a story. I'm trying to find it. And I had it up here in just a second. Damn it. Oh, here's another question. Well, I'm trying to find this story. How is it, this is a generic question, how is it that the FBI, in the span of less than a couple of days, can decide that they're going to open an investigation on Whitefish Energy's contract to rebuild Puerto Rico's grid, and they can do it in 2.35 seconds, and yet, despite that, years and years and years, they can't do anything else? Why does that happen? How does that happen?
I ask myself the same things. Here's one for you. How can we, after a year, all of a sudden be able to have indictments and grand juries on Manafort, but how many years now has it been going on with Hillary, and we got bupkis?
Well, yeah, and I know you got to go. I know you're pushing the button, and at least you don't have to worry about my sorry ass, so you can at least go all the way up to 8 o'clock. But the other thing, Republican Congressman Peter King has asked Mueller to answer Congress's questions about 2009 and that 2009 uranium deal. Let me go back a little bit. You mentioned that this guy, Papadopoulos, the Trump administration basically said, you know what, we're not interested in you, you can go to hell. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That was completely documented. Now, that said, who was the FBI director in 2009 under this uranium deal?
Mueller.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you possibly think, and I ask you quite sincerely, do you think that Robert Mueller is a stupid or ill-informed individual?
No. I think he's probably pretty intelligent for the positions he's had and what he's done. He's probably a pretty intelligent person.
Yes. So he wasn't specifically on the board of CLIAF, but do you think if the FBI was conducting any kind of an investigation into the Uranium One deal, do you even remotely suspect that Robert Mueller may have been in the pipeline of information, so to speak? I know what my answer is.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is the same guy who's investigating Trump and all things associated with Trump.
Yeah, well, and that's why I told my parents, no matter what he says or does now, it's going to be tainted because of his history with the Uranium One deal and just everything that has gone on with that, that he refuses to step down. This whole investigation is tainted. I mean, he's helped the Democrats cover up the Uranium One deal, with Hillary Clinton included. How can he? And if the Republicans had a set of balls, they would start a full investigation. They would mandate a independent counsel to investigate it and partially investigate Comey, Hillary, Obama, Mueller, all of them. But it doesn't. His no matter what he does, it's tainted now. I believe it's tainted, not just because I'm a Trump supporter, but I think he is tainted because of the Uranium One deal. So no matter what he does, it comes out as going to be a one-sided decision. If that makes sense.
What he's done, essentially, is, how many minutes do you have left? Like maybe one?
Nobody else is on after, so we can go over a little bit.
Okay. Let me throw this out into the mix. When you appeal a particular verdict, Mueller, in his infinite wisdom, has, as far as I'm concerned, and I have to look at things, because that's the world I came from, is I have to look at things in terms of a good defense attorney, and I had to build my case whatever cases I had, in anticipation of what would be the argument in reverse from defense attorneys if I alleged this. And so I had to think like a defense attorney. Mueller and his position is, in my opinion, extremely vulnerable. So he's going to make a number of active decisions, and the results of which, to me, are easily arguable in reverse in court. In a way, whatever it is that he decides that he's going to do, by dint of where he came from and what he's done in the past, makes him readily excoriable in court. He may think that he's absolutely inviolate, but I submit to you, Jersey Joe, he is not, and possibly he could be the exact opposite.
Yeah. I do have one serious question, because you come from this type of work. And the one thing that confused me, and I commented on it earlier, he was brought in as an independent counsel to investigate Trump on collusion with Russia. Now, how is he able to do a grand jury and able to press charges for laundering money? That it has nothing to do with what he was brought in for. Now, if Manafort did this, he should be charged. I'm not trying to stick up for Manafort if he broke the law. But that's not his scope that he was brought in to investigate.
Okay, a lot of this has to do with taking advantage of whatever political climate exists at the time of your appointment. And you're asking a really good question. How is it that the initial understood scope of the investigation expanded so readily? And there's a couple of answers. In my opinion, the biggest one is because the Republicans have no balls. Never had and never will. That's one response. Another response is politically all across the nation, there was a great huzzah and cry to, screw that, go anywhere you want. So basically all the binders, all the handcuffs were taken off, and Mueller assumed. Here's another axiom that I'm going to throw out there at you, and you've used this before, I'm sure. It's always easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. So Mueller interpreted the political climate to mean I can do anything I want for any reason at any time, and very few, if any, people will stop me. And that was true then, and it's true now. And that's your answer. And so what we're getting is ancillary investigations into people that normally would not come under any investigation, except that they fell under this major umbrella, and the pressure is huge. Trust me, the federal pressure is huge under Mueller to produce. And that falls into the something, anything category. Give me something, give me anything, give it to me now, because we're getting our arses killed. Now, granted, Mueller is a registered Republican. And everyone, all the Democrats on the left side go, oh, well, Mueller's a Republican, so he must be just a wonderful guy, and he's the right guy in the right place at the right time. And you ask yourself, Jersey Joe, with whom did he surround himself? And you know the answer to that question.
Democrats. But it's, to me, and it's maybe the way my career went, it seems like he's going outside his scope. And I'm wondering, could a defense attorney use that he could be tainting this whole investigation on Mueller or Manafort, where it could let him off, because he wasn't technically working for the FBI at the time. He was contracted with the DOJ, but he was contracted just for a specific thing. And And I know he kind of got a blanket, go wherever you want, but it's not like he was a sworn-in DOJ investigator. Do you know where I'm going with it?
Yeah, I do. And I can give you a one-word answer. The answer is no.
Okay.
The answer is no, he will not be excoriated for going there because people on the left, Democrats, the American media maggots, they expect him to make some kind of production because literally already, months and months and months, he has spent millions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, I predicted Mueller or Manafort was going to get charged with something a while ago. I knew someone had to go down. I know that. It's
exactly.
I figured it would be something closer connected to the campaign so they can connect it closer to Trump.
Yeah, it's... Go down to a much smaller level. Everyone that's listening to you now live, everyone that will listen to you in the podcast, everyone that's going to watch you on YouTube, everyone that is paying attention or will pay attention to this in the future knows this. There's been a situation in their own personal lives where at work or some work-like atmosphere, a bad thing happened. And there was a problem or an issue. And everyone was cognizant of the fact that the administration knows that someone's going to pay. Someone's going to pay a price. There must be a sacrifice. I used to tell my trainees in patrol, if it is politically or fiscally expedient, you will be sacrificed. Your arse will be sacrificed.
Yep.
That was true in my job. It was true in your job.
Hell yeah, EMTs were always
everybody's job. We've seen it time and again, and it's true for politics, and it's true for D.C. Somebody's got to pay, and we're going to find somebody. Whether they're specifically applicable to the original mission or not is immaterial. Someone's going to...
Shit, hold on. Pulled the wrong cord. Sorry about that. It's... You still there?
Right here.
Okay, sorry about that. I actually pulled the wrong cord. I was messing around with something while you were talking, and I pulled the wrong cord and unplugged you for a split second there. I had a brain fart.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's just within my training. It's my way of thinking is he went out of his scope of his ability, and
all I can tell you is trust me on this. You're just going to have to trust me on this.
No, I do. That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you.
That's going to be immaterial, and if you place any credence behind that being an issue, it is going to be a non-issue. It is going to be a non-starter, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was asking you that because, well, you have the better expertise than I do on that subject. Well, with that, I really wanted to say thank you for calling in. I really appreciate it because I was actually hoping you were going to call in.
Well, hell, I don't have a show of my own, so I may as well Bigfoot yours again, right?
Hey, anytime. You know that. If you want a Bigfoot tomorrow, go right ahead. So you can get your stuff up and running. You know you're always welcome here.
I literally do not know if I have a show tomorrow. But if I don't, I may make a phone call again, sir.
Anytime, sir. Anytime. And I mean it. You're welcome anytime you want. You've always been. So, but I'm going to get going because, well, it's 10 minutes after, and, well, it's Betty by time for Bonzo here.
Well, yeah, it's after 11 o'clock in your time.
Yep, 11:10, and the last couple days, I mean, the last, week or two has been really stressful in this house, so.
Ouch.
Well, you saw what happened to my daughter and stuff, so we're dealing with that, and it's just... when stress goes up, all the ailments that I have come out screaming.
Yeah, that's bad.
So. All right, sir.
Well, thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, Jersey Joe.
Anytime, sir. Everybody, this is BZ. Hopefully he'll be calling in tomorrow if his show isn't up and running.
Cross fingers, cross toes.
Exactly. All right, brother. You have a great night.
All right. Thank you, Jersey Joe. See you later, sir.
Bye. I want to say to everybody, it's been an honor to be here tonight. It's an honor every night to sit here and talk to you guys, and I appreciate every single body. And I'm going to say, hopefully everybody's house makes it out safely tonight because it's mischief night. And, oh shit, I forgot. I won't be on until Wednesday. I'm taking tomorrow off because it's Halloween, and I'll be having banging on door and all that. So I'll see everybody Wednesday. Have a great night. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hbpundit.com and shrmedia.com.